Right now, somewhere in a bank you trust, your money is sitting in a savings account, and you feel good about that. Responsible even, like you were doing the right thing. You are not. In fact, the longer your money sits in that account, the more wealth you are quietly, invisibly, mathematically losing. Not because the bank is stealing from you in some dramatic way, because the entire system was engineered deliberately, precisely, and profitably to make sure your money grows for them, not for you. I am going to show you exactly how that works, why almost nobody talks about it, and what 3 moves you can make this week to stop it. Welcome to Milo Money. Let me give you a number. The national average interest rate on a standard savings account right now is 0.46%, less than half of 1%. That is what the bank is paying you to hold your money. That is the deal you agreed to, probably without even reading it, the day you opened your account. Now let me give you another number. Inflation last year ran at roughly 3.4%, which means the cost of the things you buy, groceries, rent, gas, everything, went up 3.4%, and your savings account grew 0.46%. Do the math. You lost nearly 3% of your purchasing power every single year, without spending a dime, without making a single mistake, just by trusting the system everybody told you to trust. Think about what that means in real terms. If you have $10,000 sitting in a standard savings account right now, in 10 years, inflation will have eaten through the equivalent of over $3,000 in real value. Your balance might look bigger, but what it can actually buy you will be dramatically less. That is not bad luck. That is not a coincidence. That is the design. Here is what they do not teach you. When you deposit money into your savings account, the bank does not just hold it, they immediately lend it out to other people, to businesses, through mortgages, through credit cards. And here's the part that should make your jaw drop. They lend it at rates between 7 and 25%, depending on the loan type. Credit cards alone average over 20%. So, the bank borrows your money at 0.46% and turns around and lends it at 8, 10, 20%. That gap, that enormous gap between what they pay you and what they charge everyone else, is called the net interest margin, and it is one of the most profitable mechanics in the history of modern finance. You are not a customer in this transaction. You are the raw material. You are the low-cost inventory the bank uses to generate billions of dollars in revenue every single year, and in exchange, they give you less than 0.5% and a free phone app. Now here's what the wealthy actually do. People with real money, not millionaires in a movie, real everyday wealth builders, they do not let their cash sit idle. They understand that idle cash is a decision to lose. Instead, they split their money into what I call the 3-bucket system, and when you understand it, you'll never look at a standard savings account the same way again. Bucket 1 is your emergency shield. This is 3 to 6 months of living expenses, and it lives in a high-yield account, not a standard one. High-yield accounts, offered through online banks and credit unions, are paying 4 to 5% right now. Same FDIC protection as your normal bank, same liquidity, just a dramatically better rate. This bucket does one job. It keeps you safe without bleeding you dry. Bucket 2 is your opportunity fund. This is cash you do not need in the next 1 to 3 years. This money goes into treasury bills, money market funds, or I-bonds. These instruments are paying competitive rates tied to actual market conditions, not the artificially low floor the big banks offer their standard account holders. Your money is still accessible, still safe, just working harder. Bucket 3 is your wealth engine. This is everything beyond your emergency shield and your opportunity fund. Every dollar above those 2 buckets gets invested in a low-cost index fund, a broad market ETF, real estate, whatever your strategy is. The historical average return of the stock market over the last 100 years is roughly 10% annually. That's not a guarantee, but it is a track record, and it absolutely destroys the 0.46% your savings account is offering you. 3 buckets, one for safety, one for short-term opportunity, one for long-term growth. You don't have to be rich to run this system. You just have to stop letting your money sit in one bucket while the bank profits from all 3. Your savings account is not your friend. It never was. It's a product designed by people who understand money deeply, sold to people who were never taught how money actually works. The gap between what the bank pays you and what the bank earns from you is not an accident. It's the business model. But now you know, and knowing changes everything. Here's your challenge this week. Log into your bank account, find your current savings interest rate, write it down, then search the term high-yield savings account and look at what's available right now. The difference you find is money you are leaving on the table every single month. Next episode, we're going to talk about the one financial number that determines whether you build wealth or just break even for the rest of your life, and most people have never even heard of it. I'm Milo. Stay wealthy.